Yo, what's going on, fam? On January 1st, 2025, around 3:15 a.m., a man identified by the FBI as Shamsud Din Jabbar from Texas was driving a white Ford pickup truck that he rented, drove into multiple civilians on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 15 people and injuring dozens of others. He was later on unalived after getting into a gunfight with law enforcement. I don't think they have a motive other than him having ties to ISIS as of right now. It was just extreme carnage. Here's a picture here of the ISIS flag on the back of the truck. The aftermath of the situation, man, just real horrific. I stayed in the house personally, man. Usually when it comes to events like this, I'm in the house. It's just too chaotic. Now, there was another incident that happened with a Cybertruck that exploded right in front of Trump's hotel in Las Vegas. Now, the Washington Post said the Cybertruck was filled with large firework mortars, gas containers, and things of that sort. The FBI is still investigating that, as an act of terrorism. I don't think it was a related issue from the information that they have. But still another tragic incident, man. Information about this gentleman, his name was Matthew. I think the correct pronunciation is Livingsberger or something like that. I'm not really sure, but maybe saying that wrong. But right here in the back of the truck, it looks like a VP racing gas canister. So for all the people out there that's into racing, or you got cars or whatever that's tuned for a certain type of gas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is another picture of the racing canister. Just they sell different type of gas and stuff like that. You can buy it at Summit, Jegs, other performance shops, and things like that. And I don't know if this particular gas burn a little bit more intense than regular gas. I'm not really sure, but they did find more information on Matthew. He was a 37-year-old active duty Green Beret, highly decorated, but man, tragic, tragic. So something else I wanted to speak on when I was hearing about all of this stuff that had happened. This is the reason why I stayed in the house first and foremost. I don't like to be around a large group of people. I've been like that since I was a kid. I was brought up, in the church, and it was just a tradition for my family to go out and eat. I just didn't like being around a lot of people. I mean, I was already shy anyway when I was young, and later on in life, I kind of grew out of it, but I just still did not like to be around a crowd of people. Um, Especially by myself. I didn't like at one point in time when I was going out, I wasn't going out by myself. I would always have somebody with me when I was going out. But um this year I just kind of decided to stay in the house. I stay in the metro Atlanta area, so I decided at first to go out and see the peach drop, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna just stay I'm just gonna stay at the house in the comfort of my own home and relax. And I don't know, I just had a bad feeling that something was gonna happen. I started to make a post about it on social media, but I didn't want nobody to think I was, crazy or whatever. So I just kind of left it alone. But I was thinking, like, you know what? As soon as I wake up, it's gonna be something more than just a shooting, or something that happened at a club or a little after hour spot. But so in regards to a certain sector or certain sectors of the government in its imperialistic ways, and how we decide to build relationships for political gain or monetary gain, reminds me of an old novel called Frankenstein. Now, using this as a metaphor in describing our government is not the first time that this movie has been used to describe our government. So I actually thought about it and looked it up, and it was a something that was used frequently. So uh, thinking about Victor Frankenstein, uh, for a long time creating this monster and not taking, you know, credit for building this monster. He had to later on deal with it. And that's kind of how I feel like our government does. You know, we create these monsters along the way, you know, from having our hands in all of these different proxy wars and things like that. When you think about the Vietnam War, the Korean War, uh, the invasion of Cuba, which failed. When you think about even all the recent activities that's been going on now with Israel and Hamas, Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine. Um, yeah, it's just been a lot. So the thing is, though, we've created a lot of enemies along the way. Now, I'm not making an excuse for these guys doing what they did. It's just absolutely no excuse to target innocent people. I feel like if anything, if somebody does something to you, you need to go and hash that out with that person, but don't ever target innocent people. Um, that's just you know, I don't condone it at all. I don't condone violence at all. Um, Now you may possibly have to think of uh copycat terrorist, you know, somebody that may, you know, see this as, you know, some sort of motivation to get up and get out there and do the same thing or something similar. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of remind me of that novel, you know, and what's that old saying? You know, you made your bed, now you got to lay in it. That's like back in the day when I was younger. My dad used to tell me about the School of America that was out on Fort Benning, which is now Fort Moore, and he used to tell me stories about how people would go out to protest the School of America. And for those that know, because I don't know a whole lot of information about it, I just know that people protested the School of America because they didn't agree with our government training soldiers from other countries who, in a lot of in a lot of parts, we had issues with later on. I don't think it's called the School of America anymore. It's something else, and I think they moved it. But that's just a small example. But I'm saying all of that to say this, just to get back to situational awareness. When you are out for any event, whether it's, you know, holiday or whether it's just a random weekend or something like that, you want to have situational awareness. Be very aware of your surroundings, your environment. If you're inside of a bar or restaurant, club, whatever, just be aware of all the exits. Okay. Um, Watch people and their nonverbal communication. You know, sometimes you can see a certain something getting ready to play out that majority of the people are not really paying attention to. You know, it may look like a group of people about to get into it. You might want to, you know, get the people that you with, hey, you know, let's go and get up out of here because, you know, this don't really look like the place to be right now. Um, Maintain that situational awareness when you're out. I know we all get caught slipping sometimes, and you just cannot have your head on a swivel the whole entire time, you know. But also stay away from large crowds. Staying away from large crowds. I didn't like being around large crowds when I was young, even going out to restaurants. You know, I grew up in the church, and it was just tradition for us to go out and eat. You know, we used to go to Golden Corral and Ryan's, places like that, and I just did not like to be around a lot of people. For one, I was real shy. I was extremely shy when I was young. It took me a long time to kind of grow out of that. But yeah, just, you know, when you get a little older, your mentality changes a little bit. You know, when you're well versed and well experienced in life, you just, you know, it's kind of like I've been there, done that. So stay away from large crowds. Have a prepper's mindset. A lot of people are preppers and don't even know it. If you have an alarm on your vehicle, if you have a smoke detector in your home, carbon monoxide detector, fire extinguisher, first aid kit in your home, you are a prepper, you know. So just take it up another level. Get yourself a IFAC kit or individual first aid kit. Um, I don't know. You can probably build one for maybe $100. You can probably build one for a little bit cheaper. Have it with you at all times. Have it on your person. Have one in your vehicle. Have multiple IFAK kits. Um, I can remember a time when this was years ago, when I was in Memphis and I went to Beale Street. So there was no way to take a vehicle and drive up and down Beale Street. You had to get out, and every street or whatever that led to Beale Street was blocked off. So when you went on Beale Street, they had metal detectors. There was an event that was going on too, so I don't know how it is now or how it was before the time I went, or how it is in present day. But I'm pretty sure it's the same. I mean, it's Memphis, so for Bourbon Street, they were talking about doing that, and it just never became a thing. So to not have vehicles traveling up and down Bourbon Street, but yeah, have that prepper's mindset. A lot of these places, you can't take your firearms, you can't take a knife with you. So at least have a first aid kit. You know what I'm saying? Because if shit really hits the fan, more than likely you gonna probably be helping, to get somebody off the ground, stopping bleeds, doing CPR, stuff like that. So you can have these kits, and I feel like as long as you don't have like the scissors or tweezers or anything like that in it, and you're gonna have it on your person, and you're going inside of an establishment this warning, or you have to walk through a metal detector, they may actually let you in with a first aid kit. I think security for the most part would kind of know what that is, and they may let something like that slide. So always have a prepper's mindset. Be able to put yourself in a position to help others. Again, even if you did have a firearm on you in a situation like what happened on Bourbon Street, you're not gonna just take it upon yourself to go and try to track down whoever did this heinous act, and because the thing is, when law enforcement get there, they're gonna be looking for people who look like the bad guy. So you don't want to be caught, you know, with a gun in your hand running around like a vigilante. It's just not a smart thing to do. The best thing to do is to help out whoever you can when the threat is neutralized, or just to get out of Dodge. So I just kind of wanted to kind of just make that a point, and put that out there so y'all can think about different things. But with that being said, y'all stay safe out there and stay dangerous.